Hello and welcome to Sporting Gibberish. I'm Stu Booth.
I'm Jack Luffman.
On today's show, surprisingly, we are going to be talking football. We're going to have a little conversation.
Never gets boring, does it, football?
No, I think, how can football be boring? It's impossible. A little bit about VVD.
I don't know, I did watch Man United, Arsenal and Man United Chelsea last 2 weeks. That was pretty boring.
I was going to say, common thing there, United.
Yeah.
That's the problem. We'll be giving you a quick update about the Arabian Gulf League, and IPL is now
into the final stage. I talked to you about, I don't want to ruin it for you, but
well, the whole fire
I've
there.
got a little surprise for you that we might be able to.
What? You brought big Chris Gale here?
Well, not quite, but you never know. Well, anyway, I don't want to.
Please don't
spoil it.
Please don't just build it up.
I don't want to spoil it.
Gailey's not going to be here. Then we're going to be talking a little bit about rugby. You're going to mention briefly about boxing?
Yeah, why not? Shall
Why not?
Quick change there.
Yeah.
Quick change.
Yeah.
30 seconds ago.
We were leaving that out, but I've just decided, you know what, you need to know this information.
Yeah.
Something as well, people have been asking about the horse. So
oh my God.
This is all the front page stuff.
I am unbelievably excited.
So excited, he got dressed up last night.
Only for you though, Stu.
Alright, sorry, we're there for my eyes only. We'll just remember not to post them on the media counter. We'll be talking Larkin's Fancy Football Corner with Radisson Red. So
he was giving it big during the week as well, weekend, wasn't he?
Well, the strange thing is at this point we will say we have not vetted the audio, so we are going out on a limb.
Yeah.
And just so you're aware, if you just see that my shadow and Luffers, you just look the same as you do every week.
I know. It will get there though.
Yeah, we're currently doing Movember, so
I'm
raising
currently
awareness.
looking about like a 13-year-old boy.
Yeah, I'm slowly getting there.
I reckon you're going to look like either John Aldridge or Ian Rush.
Do you? I was thinking more like an Australian rugby player because they're quite often done.
Or Big Merv Hughes. Can you get the handlebar around, you reckon?
I'm going to go for it down here. But yeah.
What did you think to that?
Yeah, well, the least said about that, the better, I think. It's a family show. But we are going to start with fact or fiction, and it's my turn this week.
Yeah.
Come
on, Jack.
So, just a couple of different questions for you. It's more of a question to see if you know about this.
Okay.
Okay. The Isle of Man holds an annual race. Okay. This has been going on since 1971. COVID restrictions obviously apply at the moment.
Yeah.
But what is unusual about this race that's held every year since 1971?
Well, the Isle of Man TT races, the motorbike side.
It isn't that. It is not that. No.
So they hold another one.
They do.
Okay, let me think. So it's Carmity. It's not very big. It's an island. Is it something to do? I don't know. Swim around the island or something like that?
It is water related.
Rowing.
Almost. It is the World Tin Bath Championships.
That's not a sport.
World Tin Bath. It takes place in Castletown Harbour. Near 100 competitors and 1,000 spectators, being the only race of its kind.
I'm not surprised at the old tin bath.
I know. Imagine. That's
Could we bring it to Dubai?
There is that possibility.
Down the creek?
Yeah, maybe. We could potentially have a look at that. There is another race. Oh, these are all race related. Okay. There is a special race that happens in Norfolk, in Congham, in Norfolk.
It's not far from where I live.
Oh, is it?
Norfolk,
Maybe you've got this.
It's a big corner, the east of England. But
it's that big lump, isn't it? Yeah, I went to Norfolk Broads when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, worst experience ever. Yeah, not enjoyable. Just personal, nothing against Norfolk Broads, so don't please sue me.
You're not an Alan Partridge fan then?
No.
Hey!
Definitely not. No. But there was a race which was founded in the 1960s. Okay, it's another race. It's another championship. It is not quick.
Right. Okay. I'm going for either snail or slug racing or something like that.
Oh my goodness! World Snail Racing Championship.
Get in.
Did you just see my?
No, I didn't see it. It just. I mean, the clue was very helpful. I must admit.
Okay.
Thanks for that.
Right.
1-1.
There is another race. This probably gives it away by the fact that it happens at Cooper's Hill in Gloucestershire every year.
Oh, I know this. It's the cheese racing, isn't it?
It is the cheese race, yeah. And it turns out they roll a £9 roll of double Gloucester cheese, and the first one down gets to claim the cheese.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I did know that. 2-1. I'm going alright today.
2-1, yeah.
What a week.
This is my favorite. This is going to be the last one.
This is a good end to my week.
Oh, is it? You think it's been that good, has it? Yeah, Emma Walker, I was witness to how moody he was. And to be fair, you were just as moody. Not that she ever watches or listens to this.
No, true.
But right, there is a Dorset knob throwing competition.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, can you tell me what it is?
So you want me to tell you what a Dorset knob is?
Yes, that's correct.
Well, I'm guessing it's something to do with a door handle. Throw the door handle. Like what about a door frisbee?
Door frisbee.
Something like that.
Incorrect on both accounts. The Dorset knob is actually a hard, dry, savoury biscuit, typically eaten with cheese or soaked in sweet tea. Dorset knobs were said to have been the favourite food of the local author Thomas Hardy.
Thomas Hardy, yeah.
The rules of the knob throwing
Thomas.
are simple. Competitors get provided with 3 knobs.
To be fair, this sounds like a game at university.
Yeah, and have to throw them
It involves a
first.
biscuit.
Yeah, but yeah, basically there is a Dorset knob competition. You get 3 attempts to throw 3 different knobs.
Oh, well, there you go.
But I think that we'll call that 2-2. We call that
2-2, yeah.
2-2.
Well
Excellent.
done. The Dorset knob brought it home for you.
It certainly did. It
Brilliant.
certainly did.
Okay, so that's it. Right, so our sporting week. I thought we'd introduce this because we're both playing now, and instead of it being tacked on to little things or
Right,
whatever,
okay.
I thought, well, a bit of self-review, self-critique, or just a bit of news for people who get on. So,
Is this just happened to come off the back of the fact that you scored well last weekend?
no. I just thought that would just be fair.
Well, I'm just going to say to everybody back home, I wasn't aware of what this was. So I was
right.
like, what's he talking about? Our sporting week. I thought he had some news to tell me. I didn't realise he was going to tell us the fact he scored 6
No. I thought we could just inform the viewers of our sporting week.
Okay. All right.
Of what we've done. So, do you want to go first or shall I?
All right. Well,
I'll tell you what, I'll go first.
All right, you go first.
Okay,
then.
yeah, so, yeah, we went out. Well, we didn't go okay actually. We lost.
Yeah.
We lost to Wombats Black, but we're still in the top 4. So we were chasing 190, came up about 20 short. Bit disappointing. Probably should have won again, which is, to be fair, from where we were last year, is a positive to think that we sat there thinking we should win. Yeah, so we're still in the top 4.
Top were though.
Yeah, they were top,
yeah.
So we're still in the top 4, so available for the playoff final things that will happen in towards just the end of this sort of first half of the season. So the season's got to split into 2, if you like. So we're top 4, so we've got 3 games left in a normal season. Win 2 of them, I think, we'll be in the top 4, and then, as they say, when it's knockout sport, anything can happen.
Could happen. Excellent. But I think there's a common theme here, because we actually went for a few scoops on the night before the cricket.
Don't tell
So
the
do you?
captain.
I was going to say, do you seem to prefer? You seem to play better.
Well, to be fair, the twice, so I did get 50 odd off, not many balls again. I wasn't at my fluent best, I have to say, but I just got out when I needed to. I found a boundary or a big 6, but yeah, the 2 big scores I've had this year, I've been on the back of just a few social beverages with my friends. So
Yeah, but also it's also interesting that when I came down to watch, you weren't able to perform.
yeah,
Not to harp on about that.
no, because it was just I just felt too much pressure that day. That's
Yeah,
all.
I think so. Well, everybody's seen the video. You can see that you clearly worked
Yeah,
hard.
I didn't realise you were going to put the up last week. Absolutely stitched me. What are those bottoms about? Got a new kit as well this week. We've got a new kit this week.
Well, we've just been given a new kit. We've just flipped this onto us. We were given a new kit last night.
What's it like?
It's
You're not a fan of the yellow though, are you?
Oh, it's yellow. The sleeves are dead bizarre because they're charcoal, but the shorts are black.
Oh,
So
it's
it's a little bit like
matching then, isn't it?
you could have done with either the shorts being charcoal. It's a nice colour charcoal, to be fair.
Is it like charcoal colour?
Yeah, it's like a light black charcoal type colour. But yeah, the shorts are all black and socks are yellow with a black banding, no charcoal on the socks.
So we're going to go on to, can you tell people what your squad number is? So my squad number is 19. I've had that from cricket days. It's my date of birth, I've always gone for 19. It's sort of my dad's lucky number as well, so always had it 19, as you called me out in the video. What number would you, if you could choose a number, what would you have?
6.
6. I don't really like that number 6.
Yeah.
But anyway, you chose 6. But what number are you? The All-Stars number?
Oh right, okay. So there's 2 different numbers. The number I got given last night is not the same as the other one.
Oh, sorry.
All Stars have this strange aspect where we have a first team, a second team, a third team, a fourth team, I think, and a vets team. And obviously, being of a certain age, I qualified for the vets team. So I joined with 10 games after the season. I only managed to fulfil 5 of them, and then it got closed off for COVID. So I was given the squad number 130. So
unbelievable.
We have 130 people signed in our squad. But last night I was given the number 11 with the new kit.
Mo Salah. Eric Lamella.
Yeah, so
John Barnes.
I like Barnesy. Yeah, Barnesy. Probably about the same size.
Can you rap
actually?
like him though?
Well, we'll see at Christmas time, won't we? But yeah, the interesting, interesting thing was, before we played our game last night, Steve Warby was giving it big licks about scoring goals. So at the moment, I think before last night, I'd scored 4 goals and he'd scored 2. We played for the same team, but we're in different squads for this seven-side competition. So he was complaining it wasn't fair. I said, why is it not fair? He said, well, you played 1 more game than me. I said, because you got scared and didn't turn up for that game, that's not my fault. So he cried a little bit about it.
So he booted the ball.
So he cried a little bit. So then I said to him, you know what, we'll start from scratch. We'll start from last night's game. So I turned up to catch end of first half, shouted at him a few times, came off at half time with a little whisper in his ear and a chat with him. He hadn't scored at that point, proceeded to play second half, didn't score. So he didn't stick around to watch, he went home sulking. They won, I think 5-3. We played the team that they played last week, and I think they beat them 5-0 last week, and we played them last night. Finished 12-2.
So did you notch
2
and a few assists as well?
About 7.
Did you notice there's a theme here though, people, that Stu just like gets into his mates about their performances? Just gets into their head, don't it?
Well, it's not my fault you're weak-minded. That's what I'm saying.
Oh wait, next time I'm just going to put on a masterclass when you come.
Okay, we'll see. But they did reveal the leading goal scorer chart has come up, and I am currently top.
Very good. And actually, we're going alright then, because I'm 4th in the League One. So there we go. That was our sporting week.
Yeah.
So you'll be ready next week.
I'll be ready. I need to score more and stop passing.
So you got a game. When's your next game? Wednesday.
Wednesday night. Yeah.
Wednesday night. We play Saturday afternoon this week.
Right. So we will reveal all next week.
Brilliant.
IPL.
Okay, so IPL's so all the group stages are over.
Yeah, unfortunately didn't qualify, did I?
Kings 11 went out. My team, Rajasthan Warriors, went out. Morgan, who obviously owned Morgan, the captain of the Calcutta, they went out. So the top 4, Mumbai, Delhi Capitals survived. They won in sort of after their dodgy spell. Hyderabad, someone's at Warner and Bairstow and Co. And I can't think of the third team now. Who's the third team be?
Not the Now Riders.
No, they went out. Co-leads RCB, World Challengers Bangalore. So yeah, so now there's a qualifier game, so 3rd place, 4th I think, and then they go through. So, and then the top plays one, and they've got 1st and 2nd playoff, and the loser of that game gets another chance. The winner goes straight to the final, which I quite like that idea. I think we talked about that before. So yeah, so that's all done. So our teams are out. So all the boys, so Stokes and people from the Rajasthan Warriors, but they've gone home ready for a little bit before they go to South Africa for the England tour. A few people have gone on holiday, but your main man, Chris Gale, is still in Dubai.
I'm like, is he?
He's in Dubai. So he started all over his Instagram that he was in the Sofitel, because that's of course where you saw them originally. And he was out and about last 2 nights ago on the Source, sampling a few local beverages, etc. Then he's moved. He said, I'm going to see you later. I thought he's going back to the West Indies or whatever. He's moved to the 5. So he's in there at the minute, and he was out all night last night.
The 5 on the Palm or the 5 at JLT?
At the Palm.
Alright, okay.
And he's still there for a week. Last night he was on the cigars and the shisha, and so I mean this could be a chance to meet your hero.
So we're going 5 tonight?
We're going 5 tonight.
Yeah.
We've got 5 on it.
Yeah, well I'll sack Harry's football off, we're going 5.
Yeah, Harry's side pole.
Yeah.
Side pole. But there we go.
So,
and the new thing for the IPL is the women's version started the challenge, or the women's challenge. Couple of England players over here, Danny Wyatt from Stoke Nesbitt, and Sophie Eccleston, who took 4 for 9 early on today in her 4-over spell. So
nice. Who's going to win it? Who's going to win the boys?
RCB. I'm going to go with Coley and Co. I think.
And women's who?
I don't know, the Vipers, however they're called.
Oh, is it a little bit hit and miss on who's going to?
Yeah, because there's only 4 teams, and it's all from Sharjah, and I think it's just trying to build the women's international Indian cricket more often than not, because not all of because the problem is that the Australian women's Big Bash has started as well. So all the real top superstars are there.
Why would they put them on at the same time?
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense, does it?
No.
But yeah, so it's just I think it's good that they've not sacked it off and brought it over to Dubai as well.
Yeah.
Because I suppose it would have been easier just to go.
It's good that it's on.
Yeah, so we'll keep you updated. Hopefully, whoever the team the English girls are, it's my fault. I should have researched that a little bit better. We're going to back the English girls, so whoever team they're playing for, we'll back them.
Well,
and Danny Wyatt.
Yeah. Right, on to the Premier League. That was unbelievable. Right, on to the Premier League. This weekend, so I think probably on a whole, results that we expected. The Saturday games, pretty much as we thought. Wolves turned Palace over. City, not again at their
They're just spluttering a bit, but still winning, which is worrying.
Yeah, but Sheffield United just don't have that firepower. I just can't. It's like he has 2 strikers there, then he has 2 on the bench, and the 2 on the pitch know they're going to get Shepherd hooked at 60 minutes.
And like I think he's not a bad player. The midfield guy's not signed a contract. He's benched him. He's probably the most creative.
Yeah, well, he missed a sitter.
Yeah, he
missed a real sitter.
When he came on, but yeah, Sheffield doesn't surprise me now. If you listen back to one of the early podcasts, I said that they didn't do very well. I predicted they wouldn't do very well after lockdown, and they didn't. You team about the beat was us.
Yeah, they've been suffering from second season syndrome.
Massively.
Burnley Chelsea was an interesting game where there was a lot of talk about penalty with Ash. I did actually at the time call out a penalty because I thought he's lifted it over him. I didn't see where the ball was going at that point. I was like, oh, that's a penalty.
He's just clattered it.
Yeah, so we're not going to harp on about Van Dijk and stuff, but it's a similar type situation.
Just a penalty for me.
Keepers just need to stop. You can't touch a goalkeeper, but a goalkeeper can come out and smash it, and there's no repercussions.
It was just a penalty for me, and actually, we thought we were going to discuss it a little bit more, but I think all of the penalties I saw this week were penalties for me. Yeah. One of them might have gone 50-50, and there's some that weren't given, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But
Liverpool West Ham, I know people will probably harp on about Salah, but we're going to talk about the diving stuff later on. Good result for Southampton again. Such a strange team.
Yeah, but that doesn't surprise me because people who a bit like harping on, and the next 2 results actually, Villa and Everton, people are telling me how great these 2 sides are, and how great. Okay, not Ancelotti, but how great Dean Smith is. This is the same guy who nearly took them down last year.
Yeah.
Who is completely and utterly uninspiring to me when he comes on camera. And Southampton, to be fair, had 4 shots, scored 4 goals. I watched the second half and Villa were decent, but he's getting by on the fact he's got, Grealish, who's got Villa running through his blood, and they're not a top 6 side, and I'll go as far to say that I don't think Everton are a top 6 side either.
No, Newcastle turned them over. Man United, another woeful performance.
And the game was absolutely dreadful, proper dreadful.
That's a big 3 points for Arsenal.
Yeah, good for them, yeah.
And leaves United languishing in about 15th or 16th in a whole world.
And of course, they then lost. He was hanging on by his Champions League performances.
And then they went to lost at Istanbul last night.
I just wonder whether something might happen over the next 48 hours.
Yeah, I think at some point someone.
He's not the man. People will disagree. My mate Matt will disagree. Maybe Ross and Man United might disagree. He is not the man. He's not the man for Man United.
I also don't think that United expectations need to be managed. You are not the team you used to be. You have got a few good players in there, but you are not at that level of Liverpool, Man City, or even Chelsea at the moment.
Chelsea got under the radar a little bit.
Yeah, and Ziyech, who I picked out at the end of the season, looked a player the other day. But I was just before you go in, I was just going to say is. Instead of United pumping all this money into buying new players, go and buy Balicia from Leeds, the manager.
Yeah.
Go and get him. Or you've got this squad of players, go and get Poch.
Surely it's time for Pochettino. He's back. Although he lives in England, and of course he was on Sky Sports Monday Night Football. I watched clips. He's class. But I think everybody loves him down there. Everybody. And surely to goodness, if there's ever a time now, once he's said publicly that he's ready for something, because. Solskjaer comes out and just said, he's cliche after, like listening to us, cliche after cliche after cliche.
I think with Solskjaer is, the reason he's probably stayed in his job so long is that he's repeating everything that upstairs want him to say. There's no big personality there that's going to come in and go, this is not happening, I'm going to call this. It's literally, whatever's drip fed into him, he's a robot.
And you've got to remember the reason that Mourinho got himself sacked there was because he wouldn't play their ball game. Simple as.
Other two results, Spurs, good result against Brighton.
Didn't play well first 15. Brighton did well, to be fair to them, and I was a bit concerned when they got their goal, which shouldn't have stood, by the way, but hey ho. But Gaz Bale, Good to see him score, yeah. Good goal.
Interesting one. Fulham turned West Brom.
I saw that first time.
I didn't think. I thought this would be West Brom's 3 points. I thought they showed a little bit more character than Fulham, but
it's interesting. It seems that Scott Parker is adamant of playing his way, and they're going to play. And it's interesting. Potter at Brighton gets lauded for the way he stick. At the minute, Scott Parker's getting criticised for it, but fair play to him. He's going to stick to his guns. I think they'll go down. I don't think they've got any good players. Weirdly, he left Loftus-Cheek on the bench.
Yeah. The other one, have the real Leeds turned up? Leeds won, Leicester City 4. I believe, I didn't watch the game,
I didn't watch
but all the reports I read was Jamie Vardy was on fire.
They reckon the first half they just battered them, didn't they? And Rodgers, I did read something that Rodgers out-mastered Bielsa. So we'll see. But
I still think Leicester will bottle it.
I think it is. They've not got a big enough squad, have they, either, let's be honest. They are a good team to watch. See our man, Harvey Barnes, notched again. But I think it's good that it's quite exciting. It is still wide open, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think Mourinho said in his press conference actually yesterday that you win a couple of games, you're second, third, fourth, fifth, in with a shout, you lose a couple or draw and lose or something like that, and you're down to ninth. Well, he said that is why the Premier League is beautiful.
Yeah, but we're doing all right, top of the league considering we got spanked off Villa.
That's just a free result.
I keep getting some kids that turn up and go, "Oh, Liverpool, you're not doing very well." I'm like, you say we're not doing very well, but we're currently top of the Premiership.
Yeah, and I think as well, there's got to be, and I'm not for sticking up for. I'm getting a bit bored of managers saying the calendar and all that stuff like that. They've got to get over it because it is what it is.
Everybody's in the same boat. It's not like,
but I do see. I think that does have an effect on maybe somebody like Liverpool who played that high intensity football all last season, not for 2 seasons to be fair, and then to not have much of a break between seasons, probably just they're not at the fluent best. No. Alexander Arnold, for example, he's hardly been mentioned in games.
Yeah.
Robertson's slightly better, but so I don't think you're right. They're doing well. Same with with Tech Spurs or Chelsea, a little bit under the radar.
Yeah. It's funny though because since Van Dijk's been out injured, we've picked up maximum points.
It was that stat, wasn't it, that since lockdown we turned that they've conceded the most goals in the Premier League.
15 goals, I think.
More than anybody else.
But still sat top of the league.
And obviously still won it.
And then go to Atlanta the other night and spank them 5-0. Jota looks a player. But we're not going to dwell too much on that. This week's fixtures, there is really only one fixture that stands out, and it's the Sunday game. And it's not West Brom Spurs. It's not West Brom Spurs. It's Man City Liverpool. 8:30 our time, so 4:30 in the UK.
Oh, we'll be able to start for that.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting one, that one, because last time we went there was just as we were winning the league and City absolutely
destroyed you. Yeah, that's right.
But it was one of them that at early doors, I think Salah could have had a couple. We didn't score, and then City punished us the other end, and then ended up running away with it.
I think you'll see where both sides are probably at.
Yeah.
To a degree, Man City are spluttering.
I think what's happened though is the midweek games probably put a little bit of doubts in both City's head and Liverpool's head on what the front three is going to be.
Yeah.
Because you've got Salah, Mane, Jota as 3 absolute speed demons that are going to just bomb the other end. So how do you man up against that? Do you drop your back line deeper? Because there's potentially only Kyle Walker that could catch those 3. But it'd be an interesting race between Mane and Kyle Walker. The centre halves are not particularly best with a great amount of pace, and whoever plays left back is whether it be Mendy or Cancelo or.
I mean that's the problem, isn't it, with Man City? Is that I think his biggest issue is that with his defenders, he never plays the same back four.
No, but then
particularly centre halves.
Yeah, so it's how they set up against that, or do Liverpool still stick Bobby in because Bobby drops deep, which causes problems, which then creates the gaps. But then what Bobby also does is also disrupts Rodri.
Rodri, yeah.
So what he does is he actually sits on City's holding midfielder, so it causes problems there. So I think Jota's give Klopp a really good headache to sit there and think about. But at the same time, Pep's now sat there going, which front three are we going to face?
Yeah.
We're going to be Bobby dropping in, or is it going to be 3 people that are going to bomb on where we have to drop a little bit deep?
And also, let's be honest, the young lad for Liverpool at the back didn't necessarily get tested either. Does Pep show a bit of bottle and go, let's really fight, let's attack them? But he's not got a centre forward at the minute.
No, but Matip's back training for Liverpool, so that's good news. Because, hand up, Phillips did a great job for what was expected, but there's 1 or 2 times if you watch his performance, he gets caught ball watching.
Yeah.
The one where Gomez goes to win the ball against Haller, and he gets drawn in because it's literally, it sounds like they said to him at the beginning, Jack, I just want you to go, every time the ball's in the air, I want you to go and win every header because he's a big lad. So he's gone, yes, this is my instructions, and normally what would happen is one centre half would go up for it and the other one would drop, but because he's been drawn to doing that job all the time, he's like a robot, he gets drawn into it, then realises he can't get there. So you can see him then trying to backtrack, and I think they win the flick, and what's his name? Forres?
Oh
He gets through on it, and he should square it to Bowen, who'd get a one-on-one, and he ends up hitting it against Robertson. But my biggest worry is Phillips, yes, great game. Williams in the week, again, another great game, but just a little bit young and naive, and you're playing against the likelihood of Sterling.
You see, did you see in his press conference, I think I mentioned on here, that Klopp before last weekend did talk about Milner, Henderson, something like that. It wouldn't surprise me if he did that on, because they're not going to play long ball, are they? Doesn't need anybody up top in the air, so.
No, I think we'll probably see Matip back for it.
Yeah,
Matip and Gomez. I think they'll just patch Matip up as best as can.
Just get through that.
Stick him out there
for an hour.
It'll be interesting, and it'll be a good to see, like I said, with both teams. The other game I like the look of is the Leicester City Wolves one.
Yeah, because Wolves are coming to some form again, haven't they?
Yeah, Wolves. I like Wolves a lot. They've got some really nice players. I really like Ruben Neves. Adam Traore, even though he's not hit form at the moment.
He's dangerous.
Prudence has had a great start to season.
Jimenez just scores goals.
And Jimenez can get on the end of it. But then you've got Leicester on the other end. And they're hit and miss, aren't they? 1 week beat Leeds 4-1, then they'll get drubbed 6-0 off somebody else, then they'll win 2-1 at United and go and beat Arsenal and then lose to West Brom. So it's just consistency for them. But yeah, they're probably my two standout games. Game Friday nights, if you're doing fantasy football, make sure that's on Friday. Brighton Burnley, not one worth staying up for.
No. Although I might still be up, but
yeah. It's 2 games Friday night. So Brighton Burnley 9:30, and then for Southampton Newcastle midnight.
Oh
so
yeah.
2 games Friday night.
Yeah, Southampton Newcastle could not be a bad game.
No, I'm not going to wait up to midnight to see if it's any good or not.
No.
And then Everton United, Palace Leeds should be quite interesting to see where Leeds fit against an average Premiership team. Chelsea, Sheffield United
have got to be worried.
Just got to be at that point where they're going, when do we get a break?
Where did it go with Chris Wilder as well? Because he's another one that I think is completely utterly overrated. But anyway.
I think you just have to hang fire at the moment.
I agree. I'm not saying he should be sacked. I'm just saying that he's not the manager people think now, and it's just because who do you get who's better? You know, he's a chef. He's got the club in his blood, hasn't he, so to speak?
It's literally you're getting somebody to
just
be relegated, and then try and get them back up the season after.
Yeah, exactly right.
I tell you, on that note, Warnock is having a stormer.
Oh, I know, yeah.
We said, didn't I? I said that they'll go up through the playoffs this season or the season after, and they'll be relegated the season after.
Big Neil.
But he's having a great start. But right, we'll move on to the Arabian Gulf League. So we had midweek games.
Yeah, because this week in Dubai it's been Flag Day on November the 3rd, which is where the UAE celebrate their flag and the colours of the flag, and the 4 different colours, black, red, white and green, mean something. Each means something different, and as a part of that, I suppose a little bit like when we have our Easter fixtures in the Premier League, or you know they have a flag round in the Arabian Gulf League. So they've all played last weekend and during the week, and then this weekend.
Yeah, they've got a game this weekend. So I think
3 in a week basically.
I think there might be a game tonight, but we'll go through them. I think the standout results: Sharjah are now top of the league, 1-5-0, 4-4. But the other one that I found, we will mention Al Nassr 1-3-0, but that wasn't standout. But Al Jazeera with Abdul Rahman, who's their main go-to player, beat what were top of the league, Banias 3-1, and Al Wasl Pedro managed to pick up 3 points, which is good for you. But Shabab Ali, we won 3-0
last night.
Hat trick for one of our boys, puts us in a nice position. Still haven't lost. Drawn a couple and won a couple now, so good news on that front.
Yeah, so the good El Nassr second, so we're going alright. Ryan Mendes scored again for us, which he looks a good player. I did watch a little bit of that on Tuesday evening, I think it was, 9 o'clock kick-off. Watched about 20 minutes before I went to bed. It was 0-0 actually when I went to bed. They scored 3 late goals, but they're all over. Do you see the percentage?
No.
Possession, El Nassr 70-something %. 22%, 78%, 22% I think. So
Decent.
fairly dominant, I would say.
Yeah. So big games. Actually, all games are on Saturday. They are on Saturday and Sunday this week. Al Jazeera versus top of the league Sharjah. Which Al Jazeera is, they've got like basically UAE's wonder kid. I mentioned a couple of seconds ago, Abdul Rahman. He's the one that he looks a little bit like David Luiz with the curly locks. Really good attacking midfielder. He's their main go-to player. So that'll be an interesting fixture because Sharjah are flying at the moment.
Yeah, and obviously they are, as we said last week, they are the reigning champions. They're the ones got a bit of money. They're the ones who were linked with Balotelli, weren't they, in the summer?
They've got a bit of floating about.
Yeah, so that'll be a big.
To be fair, most of these teams will have a bit of coin.
There's some coin around.
But you guys, you'll find yourself away to Hatta.
I mean, it's lovely Hatta.
Maybe
nice. They go on the dam first, bit of a row.
But that should be 3 points for you guys, and we are playing Clofaracan. Which again, Shabab Ali should be another 3 points there. And Al Wasl away to Al Wada, which is a bit like a mid-table, nothing class. It's a bit like just Brighton, Newcastle.
Nothing going.
Pedro, just make sure you don't get relegated. That's the key aspect.
Relegated out of a league that you can't get relegated. That'd be a bad season for you. Pedro.
That would be a pretty bad season. But yeah, just a quick overview. Sharjah top, Al Nassr second, Bani Yas third, and my boy Shabab Al Ali in fourth. But a couple of teams, Sharjah, Al Nassr, and my boys are the only teams that are still yet to lose a game.
Yeah, I must admit I am looking forward to going to watch some of these games because on telly they don't look too bad.
No.
And I know one or two boys at work and are keen to get going as well. So hopefully when we get some fans in, we'll get to a couple of games.
And I think the good thing is but like Pedro mentioned a couple of weeks ago, is that anything can happen, you know. All right, we've just picked out the favourites, but it's a bit like the Premiership, you know. Maybe not, as it's mentioned, not as high quality, but on any given day, Villa go and score 3 at home thinking they're going to win and concede 4 to Southampton.
And I think that, you know, that there's been some big name players like overseas. There's restrictions on overseas players, isn't there, and foreign players. So, like I know Al Nassr up until this year had, like we said, Negredo from Man City, who, you know, what's a player? So he's still decent age, but he's just gone back to finish his career at, is it Napoli, I think?
I think he's headed back up.
Anyway, you wanted to just quickly talk about Verge. Because I mean, he's not, despite all the points, he's not dead.
No, he's not dead, he's still about.
Oh, okay.
But the strange thing is, and I wonder why Liverpool are doing this, is that he's had his operation, and the information coming out of Liverpool is he's had his operation, it's been successful, that's it. There's no like date or expectation of return. I don't know if Liverpool are playing a little bit poker, you know, keeping the cards close to their chest. The newspaper articles left, right and centre, Verge is out for the season. Liverpool have said that's not the case, so they're not going to deny or confirm anything.
I wonder whether it's a two-way thing. Either the operation's gone well and they're thinking, do you know what? It's not, we've got in there, it's not as bad as we first thought, he could be back sooner rather than later. Or the opposite, that actually it is quite bad and he will be after the season. But either way, we're not letting our opponents know. Because there's been a bit of that this year with lesser injuries, wasn't there? Mourinho did it with Son, so he's different. And Ancelotti did it with Rodriguez for the Dart. Said, I won't be able to play, and then he played. He didn't play this week.
The funny thing is, you look at that they're going from club to club, you know, like the psychology of upcoming games, or he's not going to be available. But then you got the flip side is, if you have to go and buy a centre half, and you seem desperate, but suddenly the fees just start to go through the roof.
I personally don't think, if you carry on in the form and what's going on, I don't think you need to buy anybody in January, and B, I don't think Klopp will he?
No, he's not.
He seems quite happy with what he's got.
If there's anything we've learned about Klopp, he's not a knee-jerk reaction type guy, and he will only go after people he wants, and if that takes him 1 month or 1 year, he will hold fire.
And the point of the matter is, whether you might win games looking a bit dodgy at the back, but the more important thing is the W. Whether you look dodgy or not, it doesn't matter.
Definitely. So. But the one I wanted to discuss was the diving incident. So people called out Salah, Kane for the diving incident, and you know, like traditionally, it's very frowned upon as an English person, isn't it? You don't dive, you don't cheat. You've got to take the hit. You've got to try and get on with it, and you've got to go and score the goal. But then I started to think, and I had this discussion with Jack, isn't it funny that defenders can draw fouls? And it's classed as funny. So I've done it many times where I'm chasing into a corner, somebody's behind me, I suddenly just anchor. Brakes go on, the lad hits me from behind, exaggerate the hit, and I fall over. Suddenly it's a good free kick to get because it plays us out. Nothing's ever said about that. But then when it's done the other way around and it leads to a goal scoring situation or a chance for somebody, suddenly they're cascaded. No, it isn't going anywhere. It's never going to go anywhere. It's always going to be in our game. The referees need to be stricter on it and then start sending people off. You just need to get on with it and find it's part of it.
I don't think either of them, those two in particular, others, was a dive. I think Salah has definitely exaggerated his fault, no question. But the flip side of that is there's fouls happening in the box and outside the box that players try and stand up and they don't get a foul. So what do you do? It's sportsmanship, it's a bit of sledging in cricket or whatever. Should we be doing
gamesmanship?
Yeah. Should we be doing it? Probably not. Does it really matter? Probably not.
Yeah.
The Kane one, the foul itself could have gone either way because he's definitely seen him coming. You look, but he's trying to, as a forward, you talk to protect the ball. That's what he's done. Lallana's been silly because it's clumsy, but yet you could argue that it could go either way. Not got a problem with that. But he was definitely in the area.
Yeah, Lallana was trying to make out that he was trying to shield it, wasn't he? He was trying to get his body to try and shield it.
I've not seen it.
And then he just...
It could have gone 50-50, and yes, both are probably soft, but I don't get wrong, in the Spurs game, I thought Doherty gave a penalty away. He definitely pulled the arm back. I would say the reason that the lad's not got it is because he's exaggerated that fall, because it was only a touch, but he can't grab hold of people. No. Like I keep saying to people, that kind of incident in rugby, when you're allowed to, would be a foul because it's off the ball, away from the ball. So why all of a sudden, in football, are we allowed to hold and hug and...
Well, it doesn't make any sense, does it? Because VAR's there. So if you
just keep your arms off people.
But it's a strange one. I tell you what did make me laugh is the West Ham game. Is the defender pretty much said to referee, "This is a foul. I've kicked him." He's like literally caught him. Salah's made a meal out of it, screamed and gone down. But the lad's just kind of stopped and just gone, "Oh no!"
Yeah.
And he's looked at the referee, and the referee at that point is then gone, "Oh yeah, it is a penalty."
Yeah, it is. He definitely exaggerated, and as they all do, they've all done it. I do find it interesting. Mourinho said, I do find it interesting why that, and I don't know why, but why Kane's always asked about it and none of the other strikers are, and he just answers it and just takes them on doing the job for my team. But it was like, you remember a few years ago when Gerrard, it would have been when Bale was first in the league, White others got done for diving, or the divers, because I didn't want much contact, I think. But two reasons: they used to run at pace, any might have tap, you'd send flying. The other thing, I think a lot of the time they were jumping out of the way of these horrific tackles because they're thinking, I can see Boothie's coming in here 2-footed, I'm getting out of the way of it. Yeah. That's not diving. That's not diving, is when there's nothing there and you're throwing yourself on the floor.
Well, I've been pulled up a few times, and the ruling this referee told me, because I was like, I've not even touched him. He's like, but the intent to foul's there. But then if the intent to foul's there, then you can't argue with either of them cases.
Yeah, exactly right.
The intention was there.
And I think that the intent, and that is it. I know when I've refereed before, if you've gone for a big tackle and you've not got it, but the reason intent that is actually the rule. But on the weekend, I didn't think any of the penalties that were given were dives. Yes, they might have exaggerated it. Yes, Kane was maybe a 50-50 course to whether he actually got the free kick or not. But there was none of that absolute blatant cheating for me.
So just to round it up, if you're going to start pulling centre forwards, pull centre halves.
Yeah, definitely.
And everybody else exaggerates everything. So it doesn't make a difference if it's in your opposing box, your own box, or whether it's on the halfway line. You know, if you're going to clamp down all. Don't glorify one aspect of it, saying, "Oh, he's bought a foul there," and then given a penalty against you and then complain about it, because your players do it for each club.
They all do it, and let's be honest. Would you say Kane was being clever? Massively clever there.
Yeah,
massively.
Talking about diving, is if Dillian White is throwing a dig at me, I'm definitely taking a dive.
I'm pretending you're not taking a
dive. I'm not getting help.
Yeah, so we're going out to boxing. Just a quick that you didn't. I don't think you realised until tonight that obviously the Povetkin fight is off because he's got COVID.
Yeah.
So that's obviously very disappointing. I think they're due for the 21st, so in a couple of weeks. But that's it. So a couple of things come out of it. The guy who beat Chisora last week, Semi sort of said, "We'll have a go." But then today I've seen that David Hay, who's obviously Chisora's manager, has come out and offered Chisora Dillian White fight 3.
I don't get Chisora. At what point do you decide that you're not good enough?
And that's the point to make.
And you need to just stop embarrassing yourself. They're not street brawls,
And the thing is, that fight,
anyway.
while it could be for a real big boxing fan, I think actually a third one of those could be absolutely quality to watch. there's nothing in it for Dillian White other than
It's a
money,
lose-lose. It's a
because
lose-lose for him.
if he wins, he doesn't get anywhere,
No.
and he could lose. He could lose.
With heavyweights, if you get caught with 1 point, and we've seen that with Anthony Joshua and whoever else down the years, you get caught at the wrong time, at the wrong point.
Yeah.
So the knockouts.
Keep an eye on it. I don't think, for me, White needs to stick to his guns and try.
Dillian White needs to stay clear of it.
Yeah, because I mean, he won't lose out any money. Not that they need the money, because obviously, I'm assuming it'll be redone on contracts or whatever. So, if that doesn't go ahead, the next fight is it Fury in early December and AJ? They're all due to
They were
fight.
supposed to be in December, wasn't it? Originally, Fury and Wilder.
I'm not sure what's going on.
And then Fury was pulling out the Wilder one because he wanted AJ.
I think what should happen is the WA should just, and the World Box and all of them should just say, what we're doing is Easter.
I got it. Royal Rumble, everybody in the ring.
Oh, yeah. They could go April 2021, Wembley Stadium, whenever COVID's out of the way, 100,000 people, all belts on the line, AJ, Fury.
Yeah, you say that, we thought like 6-7 months ago that COVID was going to be over in 4 weeks. So.
April 2022 then.
Yeah. 2030, ready. You two be ready for that fight.
It'll be like Nigel Benn and Eubank coming out of retirement again.
Well, yeah, there's always that aspect. Right, rugby union. So England.
Yeah, just a follow up from last week. Really.
Champions.
Both the ladies, the Roses, and the men's team, both Six Nations winners, which is really good. I watched the men's game because it was on just before bedtime.
Yeah.
And the women's game was on when I was at work. But England, you could tell they were rusty because we had that conversation that they were rusty against Italy. Italy had a couple of times there where they'd scored a try and were up against it, and you could see that they were fired up. But you thought, oh no! But England pulled through, got the four tries, the bonus point, and then the French did the deed for us and thrashed Ireland actually, which was a bit surprised at.
Which French were the team that beat us, wasn't it?
Yeah,
beginning of the season. And we said beginning of the season, it was like
and that's the next point. So now, obviously, I don't know whether the autumn internationals are happening. I'm not some that, but obviously the Six Nations will start again. Hopefully, I'm guessing February time again. It's a short period of holding it, but it'll be interesting because I think there was a few debutants in this game, and it seems that Jones has got again another big squad to choose from moving forward. So yeah, well done both the English women and the men.
Yes.
Six Nations champions.
It is, right. So it's the part that this is the bit that I think Matt Aldridge looks forward to the most every week, is Ian Larkin's corner. Do you want to go straight in with Larkin? Or shall I just have a quick look
have a quick chat.
I'll have a quick look at the Fantasy Football League, and Big Jack has actually dropped. He is no longer top.
Poor week.
Mike Keevy, Scoops FC is currently first place. Jack Brown with Boom Shakalaka has come into second, and Big Lefty has dropped to third.
Yeah, a poor week. Really.
But even if we had submitted it the week after, Jonathan Hotspurs will still have won the manager of the month.
Well done, Johnny. He was delighted. Second there, Ando. That's my mate Ando.
Oh, is it?
Fellow Liverpool fan, bossing it, lads. He's bossing it.
Wow.
But he came second, mate. So unfortunate that.
Yeah. And having a quick scan, it looks like Matt. Is it Matt Dunn or Matt Dawn?
I don't know. I think there's somebody more than that.
73 points. Oh no, sorry, Chris Kelly has got 75 points. Is that somebody you know, Chris Kelly?
No, I don't know who that is.
We've got nobody higher than 75 points, it looks like. Oh no, I completely...
Oh my goodness.
Kevin Fairhurst with 99 points. What on earth has he done?
Who's he done that? We need to look at that too.
Oh, look at that. Eddie Forbes, 97 points. That's the father-in-law, that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Sorry, Eddie.
Sorry, Eddie, you ain't winning nothing. It looks like Kev Fairhurst, who actually runs the Expat Football League.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, so
right.
I'm intrigued now that I've seen that.
We need to look at his team. There he is. Go back up.
Oh, I'm missing him. There we go. Kev Fairhurst, Real FC United Town. Schmeichel and goals 3 points. Walker 15. Bellerin 12.
Both his fullbacks scored.
Lamptey 9.
Oh, he's got Bale.
Bale, Salah, Mane, Romelu.
Captain Vardy. Is it triple captain?
Is he triple captain it? He must have triple captain.
Yeah, at the top, look, over the top. Does it say there?
No, it doesn't say triple captain.
No,
but that is some score, that 99 when it was probably Bob average week.
Was, yeah.
But
Very
yes,
good, Kevin Fairhurst.
Kevin Fairhurst from Expats Football
Come
Association.
and claim your prize.
Yes, congratulations. So that's a Ready Brand voucher on its way to you. Right, the moment we've all been waiting for.
Yes.
Larkin's Tips Corner.
Let's see what he's got to say.
Well, I'm back, and what a week it's been. What can I say? I've been swaggering about Dubai like Jurgen Klopp after a belly full of Kaiser and a gut full of bratwurst. My tips were absolute jam this week. I said you got a pick from Chelsea lads, you got a pick from their defence. What happened? Boom, Zuma, Chilwell brought back the jam for the boys. So since then, everyone's been chomping at the bit. Larko. Any more tips? Any more of that jam? Well, lads, let me tell you, I've got a few things coming your way. It's not been an easy week. As some of you are aware, my Phoenix returned from a scout trip to the northwest of England. Didn't bring back many tips. A few on chocolate orange swirls, which I quite knock. Not much of a fantasy. Obviously, a tough week. The amount of housework has doubled, as you can imagine. And it's been a tough week in Larkin Heights. What we'll say, start November, with that comes Movember. Give me a bit of inspiration. One of the best to ever do it, the gaffer, the tough man, the Scottish sausage himself, Graham Souness. One of the best tashes there ever was, ahead of his time with his facial growth. Now, something I read about Graham was he said once about one of his players, tremendously physical, great body, but yet just not tough enough. He'd be a perfect son-in-law. I don't want a team of son-in-laws. I want a team of hard men. Because of that, I made a few changes at the back. One was soccer, the lad from Grimsby, I think that's how you say it. You're out. You're softer than Rick Waller's undercarriage. Ian, the lad from West Ham, Creswell, we're doing great things. Jorginho, you're gone as well. Too soft, picking up spinners on the bench. In comes the grouse himself, Ward Prowse, free kick specialist. Take my tips, boys. Stay humble. Enjoy your weekend.
Oh, very nice, very nice. If he got £1 in last week,
Oh my goodness.
He's been
But
absolutely laughing.
he's definitely taking this seriously.
oh, he's loving it.
And I'm not being funny, we were out with him on Thursday night, and what he said about strutting around Dubai and people asking for tips is true.
I tell you what, I can't wait till we actually get to sit down with Jess and we actually say, Jess, do you know your nickname? Mike Phelan.
I've not seen it since she's been back, bless her, but yeah, I look forward to seeing Mike.
I look forward to it. But this is probably the most exciting news
This
that
is
we have ever had to
unbelievable,
pass
Jeff.
over. So, building it up, people have been asking about the horse that we own shares in. Our horse is called Barrichello. He was in the northwest of England training at Chester, within Cheshire,
Donald McCain.
with Donald McCain. And Jack, what did we receive? What news have we just
I'm
received?
very excited. I mean, I was actually half asleep on the sofa after work Tuesday evening, sort of dozing off. Thought, well, I don't really want to have a kip. I'm going to be in trouble. So thought, check the emails. Email popped up from our people at the yard, the owners group, and there it was in all its glory. He's going to make his debut, Stu. He's making his debut.
He's off to Carlisle as we speak.
Yep. So Monday evening, 4 o'clock UK time, Barrichello makes his debut on the flat.
On the flats, yeah. He is going to be a hurdles.
Yeah, hurdle jumper, hopefully, but on the flat, Barrichello debut. I mean,
I'm just a bit concerned. I hope he's lost that timber.
yeah, that lockdown to him as well. But, and also, I mean, 4 PM, it's going to be quite dark in the UK, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
well,
hope he's been eating his carrots as
yeah,
well.
so-
But there we go. I can't explain to you how excited I'm going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be what we're going to be. We're going to take. I'll tell you what. We'll not spoil it.
No.
We're going to take a special picture for that night.
We're going to have a little bit of an event
Yes.
in Dubai for that.
Yeah,
on-
not a gathering. In case anybody's
No,
not, it's
no.
not a gathering.
Not a gathering. Although you can have gatherings here now.
But only to a certain amount of people.
Oh,
so
right,
it's,
yeah,
not,
but
it's not a big gathering.
Not a big gathering.
It's
We've
not
had to
big.
turn fans away, but
Yeah, basically just me and Jack.
yeah.
Yeah.
Old, you're just trying to get a little cheeky
Oldie.
invite early. The
Do
little
one.
peaky blinder.
Do one, yeah. But yeah, it should be exciting times. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I can't wait.
So
Genuinely
it
can't
will
wait.
be bucket list, big tick,
Yeah.
Monday, 4 o'clock.
The runner, 4 PM Carlisle. We'll probably update our social media pages with the definite timings and.
I'd like to put a disclaimer in at this point. We are not telling you to gamble at any point
No.
or put money on our horse. We're just merely excited the fact that he's running.
Absolutely right. Absolutely.
I did ring a friend last night who's in Holland. So I was telling him, he was like, you know what that means? I went, what's that? He went, well, I'm going to have to lose money on it now.
Yeah,
It's like,
said that
it's like,
to me.
well, I didn't tell you to put a bet on. He's like, well, how can I not put a bet on it? It's your horse. I'm like, well, maybe the hair on his back might be. But
that much.
yeah.
No, we own. Listen to Matt. We own quite a lot of it, don't we?
Yeah, supposedly so. But good news on that front. And that is our exciting news that concludes this week's show. Again, please get on to the different formats, rate, review, and everything else. But as we say, our thoughts are on, but
What do we know?
what do we know?